Have you ever desired to show off something you created, like we'll say in racing, or in this case even sim racing? While on the track, simulator, hauling close to the ground in a cart, Abruzzi Racewear has you covered. If you've ever needed to promote your team logo, name, colors, or just feeling a bit more confident in your sim rig, Abruzzi Racewear is your answer. Team shirts, jackets, and even hats, they go the extra mile. Custom race shoes to gloves and even cart suits, Abruzzi has the supplies to fit your needs. Customizable from team names to colors, and yes, you can even have your own name embroidered just the way you want it. In sim racing, they give you the comfort and feel of being strapped into a cockpit to bring the experience closer to the way you desire it. Their range of sim apparel has been created to not only meet and exceed the highest levels of comfort and quality, but also to enable you to make it yours. To add your personality, take a look today at AbruzziUSA.com to see the lineup and what they have to offer. AbruzziUSA.com, with customization at heart, your wear, your way.
And welcome into Freaky Fast Broadcasting here with Sim Racing Unleashed. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Brian Johnson here in the booth with you. And fellas, we're at the Kentucky Speedway with Sim Racing Unleashed. Robert, which race is this of the season? Yep. I should have had all that information ready. But Zach and Brian, first time joining me in the booth. Y'all had an excellent race last night at the Daytona Road Course, and off night for you guys tonight from testing. So thank you so much for joining me in the booth, and here we are in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's great to be here. You know, first time with this league, and first time at this track too. Interested to see what this newly configured Kentucky is all about. Definitely going to be a lot different from what we've seen in the past. Yeah, just excited to do something other than dirt for the first time in a while, and I'm sure Zach feels the same way.
Yeah, you know, it is pretty interesting to be back to our roots, I guess you can say, Brian, the stock cars on these ovals. So back to the old stomping ground, as you can say, and glad to be back here, though. I've tuned in a few times while we test on Sunday nights usually. Just here at Sim Racing Unleashed, and the racing's always been really great, and I got to see last week's great finish, so I'm excited to be here for sure.
Yes, and as we get set for qualifying, now 5-minute qualifying, guys, as all these drivers take to the field. And, you know, being the first time you broadcast this, we had some fast times during practice. Brendan Hartwell, a number 5 machine, been in the fastest time, a sub 30-second lap. Josh Jones turning the second fastest. Steven Stepien in third in practice. Dave Neese, Lane, Todd Neese, Dave Bush, and more. So some good times being put down during practice. And, you know, we talked about the reconfiguration, Zach, and I know you were doing some research on that today. What exactly did they do? I mean, I heard something about 5 years of aging.
Yeah, you know, they did do a curing process. So, a lot of people think they just repaved this track. It was more than a repave that went on. Mostly what they changed, they did change 1 and 2 with the reconfiguration. So they added, actually they took away feet from the track. So it went down from, I think, 72 feet to 56 feet, the width of the surface. So the apron is wider now. That apron used to be treacherous on the old track. 1 lane wide, very slippery, and very easy to get a penalty just sticking that right rear of that yellow line. But tonight, the track's a little bit less wide, but the apron's a little bit more forgiving, and they also added 3 degrees of banking in 1 and 2, which makes the track a little different because you got more banking in 1 and 2 now than you actually do in 3 and 4, as they left the 14 degrees of banking compared to now 17 degrees of banking in 1 and 2. So very different sides of the racetrack. You're going to have to be lifting more, I believe, in 3 and 4, a lot more than you would in 1 and 2. So that'll play into factor how you drive your car, different sides of the racetrack. Also, like you said about the 5-year aging process, they did a curing type deal here, they called, where the surface that it is, it's supposed to age it a little bit quicker and add almost 5 years of age instantly to the track with the way they cured it. So it supposedly helps the racing, and we'll see how it is here tonight, because I actually have never witnessed a race on this new rescanned Kentucky racetrack, because it's new to iRacing.
It certainly is. And now, Brian, this is kind of your typical 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. Do you approach each track differently, or are they as similar as what they seem?
Well, you know, there's some 1.5 that are kind of similar. You know, used to be that Charlotte, Atlanta, and Texas were very, very similar, but then Texas did their reconfigure with the much less banking in 1 and 2. So now really only Charlotte and Atlanta are the most similar to each other. They're all kind of a little bit different now. Like I said, with Texas doing theirs, Kansas is similar to Kentucky in the fact that it's rather flat. But Kentucky still in itself is even more different, I feel like, than all the other ones, just because of how flat it is. And I know on the old configuration, it was rather bumpy in 1 and 2. There was a nasty bump right in the middle of, you know, about the first lane and the second lane. Nasty bump going into 1 that it would mess with me the entire race. And I hated that thing. So I really like this, you know, that iRacing put this reconfigured Kentucky in here. But yeah, it's, you know, they might all be the same length and roughly the same shape, but really it's the banking in the corners that really defines every tractor.
So as we start seeing qualifying times rolling in, our only sub 30-second time right now, Braden Koretz with a 29.988, sitting on the pole at the second. At this second, number 92 of Jason Anderson, almost under 30 seconds, 30.007. So some fast speeds, Zach, being picked up here tonight at Kentucky on qualifying.
Definitely some quick times being put down so far, and we've only seen 229s all night with Brandon in the 5 there. He unable to do that in qualifying here, as Braden was able to break into there, that 29.98. That's very close times. You see a tie for second and third too, so that just shows you how close it is in these Gen 6 cars at these 1.5 miles. You see it really at the 1.5 miles, especially with this package.
30.007 for both Jason Anderson and Josh Jones. Don't forget that here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, Sim Racing Unleashed is brought to you by the ButtKicker and the Gamer2. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10-powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like traditional speakers, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response, and it's all perfectly in sync with every game with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 at thebudkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20, that's Freaky with 2 E's, FreakyFast20 for 20% off of your order of the Gamer2 at thebudkicker.com. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you by Abruzzi. Abruzzi, A-B-R-U-Z-Z-I, AbruzziUSA.com. Your way from sim gloves to karting gloves, boots, personalized items. Zach and Brian, when we found out about Abruzzi USA, we jumped on that website real quick. It's so much neat stuff on there.
Oh yeah, it's super cool. The thing I like most about it is that it's you know, customizable. For any level of customization you want. You can either, you know, just plain black or white, just the standard, or you know, they have the different colors that you can put your name or a flag on it, or you could even go all out and say, hey, I want a specific design just for me. So the customization part for me is really what makes them stand out above everybody else.
And tonight's broadcast also brought to you by iPitting. iPitting Board is a web tool designed for iRacing teams. Helps you create iRacing series boards for all your teammates with a clear vision of every data point they need, from schedules, results, championship points, and standings. It is also a great help for your team community manager to use the tool to share on social networks and for team achievements. That's iPitting, iPitting.com. Fellas, we get set for tonight's action. 100 laps here at Kentucky. The grid is now set, and on the pole, nobody able to beat that time. The number 91 of Braden Caress will sit in first position. And second, Jason Anderson brings it up only 0.018 behind in the number 92. Same time, but in the third position, the number 76 of Josh Jones. In fourth, the number 5 of Brandon Hartwell. The number 72 of Stephen Leffler file in fifth. In sixth, Rodrigo Loga in the number 22. Seventh, Todd Neese in the number 1. The number 81 of Steven Stepien in the 8th position. And ninth, Nicholas Lobby in the number 13. In 10th position, number 32 of Lane. James Small in his 61 machine will begin in number 11's position. And number 12, Jason T. Adams in the number 24. The number 53 of Dave Bush starts in 13th, and 14th will be Paul Regany. In 15th, Aaron Bradford. 16th, Fernando Gamboa. 17th, Michael Yarrow. In 18th will be Buzz. And 19th, Gomez. And 20th will be David Neese, Michael Palmer, and Robert Cheswick. Round out at least our starting grid. I'm not sure if we have some admins in there or not. That's one thing that does confuse me at times is when there's names in the race that didn't get a qualifying time because they're not racing.
Yeah, it can be confusing, definitely. Just gotta see till they start the practice lap sometimes, you get surprised.
Surprise. You ever watch Gomer Pyle? I don't know if you're old enough to remember Gomer Pyle, man. That was a good, wholesome show, like Andy Griffith.
I don't remember that one.
Wait, you don't? Oh my gosh, you don't know Gomer Pyle.
I know Brian does it. Brian's
Nope. Sure don't.
All right, y'all got to YouTube Gomer Pyle when we're done.
That's on the
PYLA.
to-do list. I just put it on the list right now.
As we come around 4 here at Kentucky with Sim Racing Unleashed. Braden Caress on the pole. Jason Anderson on set, starting on the outside. 100 laps here at Kentucky. 1.5 miles. Green flag is out. And here we go on the throttle, fellas. 100 laps from Kentucky with Sim Racing Unleashed.
And right out the gate. Side by side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is a side-by-side start. Caress gets a nice little lead there. The 92 of Anderson and Josh Jones, second and third. Fourth will be Hartwell. Leffler in fifth. Rodrigo Loga in sixth. The number 1 of Todd Neese going to grab. Watch out, Rodrigo. Don't let him take that position. It's early, but Rodrigo Loga in the 22 machine, fellas. You guys will learn his name tonight a lot.
Oh, we got a caution here.
It looked like that is going to be the 3 of Aaron Bradford there, guys.
It was the 3 of Aaron Bradford as we come back to see what happened here.
Interesting.
The number 3 of Bradford on the inside. He got down on that apron, fellas. Got down on the apron, lost it in the beginning of pit road, and then spun up and barely clipped the outside wall. So, as you guys talked about, that apron's a dangerous place.
Looked like he may have been getting just a little bit loose before he got on that apron, so could have been just, cold tires and keeping it, trying to work that bottom lane, just putting too much wheel in it for those cold tires early on.
Yeah, I mean, right there coming out of 4, dipped down into the apron and spun around the number 3 machine of Aaron Bradford. So, our first caution of the evening. Hopefully our only caution, getting it out of the way early so we can go back to some green flag racing here. And I tell you what, these guys, there's a lot of room to move on this track. Started out double file coming all the way around, and then we started seeing individuals jockeying for position. So almost not necessarily a super speedway feel because you don't have the draft, but like when I drive and I got a car that is stuck to the track, I feel like I can make moves like this. And these guys are just bebopping around this track right now.
That is the one thing that is interesting about this racetrack. It did change a good bit here too in 1 and 2, as you see how it narrows down as they go into the out of the tri-oval. It's almost like it comes to a different even racetrack. The surface is just completely different with the width of the racetrack here. So this I would compare almost to more of what we normally get. I would say you got about 4 or 5 lanes right there. But before this, in 3 and 4 and in the front straightaway, this track has 6, 7 lanes of racing room. So one of the widest surfaces by far, but this reconfiguration did change that just a little bit. But once you get back on that back straightaway, it opens right back up. So
yeah, and I actually did jump down on this track today, turned a few laps just to see, and I was losing it coming out of 4 a few of those laps, because if you dip down too low and you cross that yellow line, it might be less forgiving than it used to be, or more forgiving than it used to be, but I didn't drive the old one, and it didn't like me.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think Brian would probably agree with me here. Lately, we've been getting a little bit of freer setups, I'd say. I don't want to say they're a lot looser, but they've definitely been a little bit more on the right rear the last few times I've drove the Cup car since this last few updates. So, and also cold tires. That's the thing. I think he was just a little bit of cold tires there, a little too much wheel, like Brian said, and it's going to go around. It's really easy to spin these cars on them colder tires.
Yeah, the setups definitely have leaned more towards the looser side. Like you said, driving it off the right rear, and I think that's one thing that's going to lead me to believe that if we get some long runs later in the run, we might see guys maybe move up maybe half a lane or a whole lane from where they were running previously, just trying to save that right rear a little bit. I don't um, imagine it'll be a huge issue. I think between the flatness of the track and just how much speed they're going to be carrying, I feel like the right front and the right rear are going to wear at roughly an even rate, but the right rear might be getting just a little bit more wear as the run goes on.
Definitely, and it's tend to be driving styles too lately. I've noticed that too. You can get really different wears with this tire lately. You can drive it one way and you can burn the right front off. You drive it a completely different way, you're gonna burn the right rear off. So it's gonna come down to these drivers. That's what the beauty of racing is, guys.
And driving style, that's the reason why you've got guys like here in the Sim Racing Unleashed. We got guys like you and Brian and everyone at World Series of Sim Racing, at TI Ray, all the leagues we broadcast here on Freaky Fast. They're good drivers. I overdrive cars. I want to run wide open all the time. That's why I don't race in leagues, because I'm not good for that. But really learning the art of racing is something that the guys here at Sim Racing Unleashed have absolutely learned, and then you can see it there, especially in that front pack as we started. And then last week, guys, Steven Stepien and Robert, I already forgot who it was. No, it was Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson and Steven Stepien racing to the line, and Anderson gets pinched up into the wall, spins, and Stepien comes away with the victory. But what a finish last weekend.
Yeah, I actually got to see that. That was quite a finish there from these guys last week, and it was exciting to be a fan watching there from my seat. So I enjoyed Lee and Robert calling that there today, and that was amazing stuff. So maybe we'll get a gift of another one side by side. I would like that for the first time here. So maybe we can make that happen.
That'd be nice. Get some good racing and finish here. Lap 6 of 100 at Kentucky with Sim Racing Unleashed. Brian, what's the restart strategy here for Brandon Caress?
Well, the restart strategy is to try to catch these guys off guard here when he goes. If they don't have to go on green, but if they do go on green, just have some John Force reaction time.
So the pace car is going to bring them around one more time here at Kentucky, and as they do, let's Yeah, I don't know where I was going to go with that, fellas.
Well, I thought we were about to go green right there. I didn't realize that the pace car lights were still on. There's I guess
long,
with the
it was a long pace lap there.
yeah.
That was
I feel like
a
we
little
had a
weird.
couple extra.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to throw it to something, because I was ready for it to start, and I was on that edge of the cliff, and then I fell off, and there was nothing there because the pace car stayed out. I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, I noticed the lights didn't go off last time, and I was like, it's been a few laps, but yeah, maybe this track, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. We'll see if they have another caution, see what happens again. Or I didn't see anything thrown to extend it, so we'll see. But these guys are now. I'm sure they're just as ready as we are. In the car, this is where you get that nervous feeling just riding around.
Oh yes.
I'd rather be going.
Well, especially as a leader, because you got all these guys on top of you. You're ready to get out of there. I have to tell you, got to get a 2-3 second lead going on.
Yeah, and Caress actually was starting to build that lead right before the caution as well, so it just pulled everybody right to the backside of him as we come into 4 for the restart. Caress, Anderson, Jones, Hartwell, Leffler, and Rodrigo Loga will be your front 3 rows, and the pace car dips off. The start for Braden Caress is going to be hugely important as we watch him bring him down the front stretch. It's almost like it's like a roller coaster. And you're going up the hill, and you just wait for it, and there it is. You drop off. There's the green flag. And Caress, not as good of a restart. Anderson having a fine restart there on the outside. We stay double file. Logan dripped down a little bit now, back up into the pack, and we're just going to gain some speed here, Brian.
Yeah, 91, great exit out of 2. Able to put about 3-4 car lengths between him and the rest of the field. Everybody else kind of stacked up on top of each other. 92 of Jason Anderson right there, able to get away for a moment, but 76 working that inside lane, going to try to take second away from him on the front stretch.
We come across the line, and Caress pulls out a half a second lead. 76 of Josh Jones will slide into second. Anderson and Leffler battling for third. It looks like Anderson's going to slide right between Jones and Leffler. We got our front 6 leveled out with Todd Neese and Brendan Hartwell rounding out the top 6. Your race now is going to be their 7th, 8th, 9th. Lowby, Steppen, and Logan.
Yeah, Lowby got pretty close to the wall on the exit of 4 one time. I'm not sure if he got a piece of it, but he was flirting with it, that's for sure. And you don't want to be doing that here this early.
Steppen on the inside. Lowby on the outside, Logo right behind them. Coming out of 2, and it looks like Steppen is going to be able to get right into the front now of Lowby, and we're going to settle it back down there, fellas.
Yeah, everybody for the most part, single file as we do the 5, trying to make a move on the 1 here. Hartwell underneath. See what he can do in 1 and 2. This little bit of extra banking that we have here now.
And it looks like he's going to take it.
Yeah, I've noticed so far, it looks like the inside lane is the place to be. That's the lane that's been able to make some moves. Outside, not so much, but hopefully that'll change as this run goes.
Definitely. And back here, about 13 positions in one of our battles here. Dave Bush in the 53, battling with Fernando. Or not Fernando, James Small. They're battling with Dave Bush. So 12 and 13, they've been side by side for a good 5-6 laps now. I've been watching them. So these two going hard at it back here. It looks like James is actually finally going to clear him there with Fernando coming. Good picture. Or actually,
yeah, that's going to be Bush underneath.
It was Paul. Oh wow!
Right,
wow, they're all just so stacked up. Got them all mixed up.
They really are, as we watch everyone come across the start-finish line. Regney stays on the top side. And Small's on, nope, Small's up in the front, my bad. That's 53 of Dave Bush. And he's going to slide behind Regney.
It looks like Paul sticks to the outside line. He's kind of committed to it. He was clear there. So maybe that's what his preferred to be there now.
Brian, look at the lead that Braden Caress has now pulled out. Is 0.8 of a second, almost a second over second place Josh Jones. We knew he was fast, but he is right now head and shoulders above the field.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Trying to build that lead up right there. Last time by, he was about 2 tenths slower than second place. That may have just been a bad lap from him, but I do have to wonder though if maybe he's pushed his tires too hard. And him, his driving style is go, 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 go. Try to build up the biggest lead we can get, and then once my tires start wearing off, maybe it'll all balance out a little bit to where second place he's able to gain a little bit of ground, but then it evens out. But even last time by, just a tick slower in second place, John Jones able to get about 2 tenths of that lead back in a couple laps.
Stepping slowly, climbing the field, 2 spots up now, sitting in the 6th position. The number 81 of Steven Stepien. There we go. I'm going to get it right first try, I promise. Todd Neese behind him. Then we got a race Loga along with Lolby, and Loga's going to take over Lolby. Now the 32 of Lane looking to take him on the high side, and the 13 there, Brian of Nicholas Lolby, starting to drift backwards.
Gonna have to wonder if yeah, see, he's on the bottom lane now. Everybody else kind of drove around his outside. So maybe that lane switch has finally happened as, going back up to this lead. I mean, the Braden is starting to drop big time.
Yeah.
As, he's constantly about a tenth or two slower a lap in second and third place here. I really think he may have burnt up his tires there in the first 10 laps of this run.
Might have been hoping for a yellow, but go ahead there, Zach.
Yeah, I was really just monitoring that, and Josh Jones is really doing a great job of getting to the yellow line.
Tapped the wall there.
He might have, I was actually about to say, I think his starting fly. I was about to say he's using all of the racetrack. He's really actually letting it, out wide and then come all the way back down to the yellow, and that's really what's gaining his time in 1 and 2. He's just really, really good. And here in 3 and 4, they're pretty even, but you can see he just turns down under him is a lower exit. That's just telling me he's turning better. So maybe Braden's, being free with the wheel, letting it go out and trying to save some tire and let these guys come back to him. But we'll have to see here. I mean, it's possible that it's easy to get overzealous and drive too fast in the mid part of the run, because I know I have an issue with that, saving tires for that first 10, then you push the next 10, but then at 20 you're in the same boat. So you gotta always keep that same consistent pace, but we'll see how it flows here. Jason Anderson's actually starting to look on Josh Jones.
Yeah, Anderson along with Hartwell started to sniff up to the back end of these guys, and now Anderson's giving Jones all he wants. 1, 2, 3 all in a line. And it looks like Anderson's ready to battle for that second position. He is fast as well. We saw him last week almost get the victory. Stepien able to take that away in a dramatic fashion. But Jason Anderson's been strong week in, week out. And look at him closing in.
Ooh, and Braden's, his right front.
In the wall a little bit out of 4, but 76 able to get underneath Braden there. Should be able to clear him here. Come out of 2. Yeah, 92 hit. Jason, he was about to make a move, but caught a little bit of the wall out of 4.
Yeah,
first place about to get freight trained right here.
Yes, he is. He is falling back quick on the outside. The number 5 of Hartwell.
Oh,
and we got a caution.
Saved him. That saved him big time.
You talk about Lady Luck being on his side. Let's go to an in-car view of Braden Caress and see if he has a horseshoe or a rabbit's foot hanging from his rearview mirror.
And guys, that was the 61, James Small, involved in that.
The 61 of Small. Looks like him and the 32 of Lane racing out of 2. And then, just got turned up into it. Let's see if there was any contact there. And, it looks like the 61 of James Small was trying to come on up and didn't have the 32 of Lane completely cleared there, fellas. And that took him into the wall to bring out our second caution. And for the 61 machine of Small to no longer have a hood.
Yeah, it's heavy damage. He's going to take a fast pair definitely for that one, but they have 2 of them. So, not over there yet for Small. He'll be able to get that thing fixed up and back out there on the racetrack.
And here on lap 22, we're going to have a pit party. Everybody in the pits.
That's for sure. It's definitely going to be busy on pit road right now.
So everybody comes in. The only one to stay out is the 72 of Steven Leffler.
And that may be for a bonus point, perhaps, if they do that for leading a lap.
That is what I believe as well, sir.
76 going to come out his box clean. 91 there, Braden. That first pit box really proven to be very useful for him, as he's going to gain a couple positions on pit road. He'll be back up into second place if the 72 does indeed pit here.
And as we talked about, the luck of that caution flag is, excuse me, Braden Caress was on his way backwards through the field right before the yellow flew, and then that first pit box able to get out in front of everyone else. So truly, if the end of this race ends up seeing Braden Caress in victory lane, look back to that caution flag.
Absolutely. Yeah, as we see the 72 come down pit road there. Yeah, hopefully for Braden, that kind of, this caution gives him a second chance, and he does something with it. He realizes, like, hey, burn up a little bit too much tire. I know I'm quick, but I just got to back it off maybe about 5 to 8%. Maybe not quite 10%, but little less than that. And I'll be able to hold this lead for a little bit longer, because he was about to fall back to at least 5th or 6th there.
So that will shake. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, with we're only on lap 24, he's that gave him a really good second chance to being able to improve here early on without losing too many positions, having to learn it the hard way.
I don't know how these guys are seeing their pit road signs.
It's dark down on pit road, guys.
It is extremely dark on pit road, and I was trying to refamiliarize myself, as I do with every race, with paint schemes and numbers and names, to try to form them all together. And they happened to be in the middle of a pit party when I was doing this, and I couldn't tell what anybody was. But our field will shake out: Jones, Caress, Anderson, Stepien, Nice, your top 5. Yarrow, Rodrigo Loga, Colby, Nice, and Reggedy will round out your top 10. So Loga running in 7th position, down 1. Our big mover right now, we talked about him, I think, before the broadcast, fellas. The number 95 of Michael Yarrow, now riding in 6th position, up 11 spots from the start.
Yeah, huge move for him. Also, David Nice there. So 20th to 10th. So both of them 10 spots right there on each of them. So big movers there. Definitely looking good for the 95 and the 27 through the field so far. And we'll see the progress now. And this just resets everything. This lets the 95 restart with the guys up here. And looking at his lap times, his pace was pretty good. Also, I wouldn't count the 81 out. He started 8th there. Steven, and I was looking at lap times there near the end of that run, and he was looking mighty quick. So it was closing down there for the front of the field.
So we reset at lap 25. So now welcome to the 75 lap event here for Sim Racing Unleashed at Kentucky Speedway. Lee Tidwell, Brian Johnson, and Zach Hall in the booth here with you on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And guys, we got so many races each and every night of the week almost here on Freaky Fast. Tomorrow night, Mr. Robert, we are off because of TI Racing being on an off week. And then Tuesday, where are you on Tuesday, sir?
Over the Top Designs.
Over the Top Designs, exactly. That's on Tuesday night. Dirt Renegades on Wednesday night. Thursday night is the Gulf Coast IndyCar Racing League.
Yep.
I got that one right. Then Friday, dependent here and there, we play around with the Throwback League with World Series of Sim Racing. And then our Premier League Saturday nights here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, the World Series of Sim Racing. But every Sunday, this is the way that I end my weekend, fellas, is with the guys at Sim Racing Unleashed, with some great action, and they never disappoint.
They haven't disappointed so far. We've had some really good racing side by side. Had some comers and some goers. We got some big big gainers here, you know, like Yarrow and Nice, like we just said. So this league so far in the first 25, 26 laps, it's had a handful of good racing teams.
Stimp up to third position. He's up 5 spots from starting. So, you know, nice first quarter of this race for Steven Stimpian.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Jones is going to take the outside line here on this restart. Looks like he's decided to do that. So maybe that's an interesting call. So
That is.
maybe he knows what Braden's going to let him in, or I guess maybe he thinks the outside line is where he wants to restart. So hey, we'll see how it works out for him. He knows that he's in the driver's seat right now. He knows what to do.
I mean, Brian, what is the advantage on a track like Kentucky where it looks like that bottom groove is where the beginning of the race is starting to start on the high side?
To be honest, I can't really think of one, because the other thing about a restart here is going into one, you're not quite up to full speed yet. So you want to be cutting as much distance as you want to as possible. Really, the only time you want to take the outside line is if, it's like Darlington or a track where the high lane is preferable.
So let's see how it's going to play out. Josh Jones will lead the field to the line, high side. The pace car comes in, and we will come back across the line at lap number 27 at Kentucky Speedway. Green flag is out. And Jones I didn't understand that start.
Yeah, the only other thing I thought of was that he knows the 91 is going to be push right now, and he doesn't want to be in the way. So he's like, y'all go ahead and have that, but unfortunately that's going to cost him a couple more positions as Jason and Stimp there gets around him as well. Not Stimp, the Todd Nice.
Yeah, the number 1 of Todd Nice. As we come back to the line, Perez will continue to lead now after that restart, taking the lead from Jones. Jones falls back to third. Anderson will be in second. Nice now looking at the third position on the inside of Josh Jones. Stimp's right behind them. Then it's going to be Lobby and Loga in the 95 of Yarrow. Your top 8 now. Got a little bit of separation here. We coming out of 4. Zach, the race is for third.
That it is. Josh Jones, restarting there first on the outside line. He's going to be battling here now for third, but Todd Nice. Can Todd make the bottom work? I'm just questioning right now. I don't know why he started on the top. So that's something. I mean, he tried it early. At least that's the big thing. Got it done early, and he's going to look like he's going to power around the top here to clear. He actually blinked a little bit there. Yeah, he's going to clear Todd Nice here off of 4 if he comes back.
Yeah, Stimp checked up, and then now Jones pops back in. But if you saw, Stimp led up there because Jones disappeared.
Yeah, and he actually got a great run off of 4 because of that too, backing it up like that.
Sure did. So Jones will remain in third. Stimpian will be in fourth. Will be in fifth. The front 2 of Caress and Anderson have now pulled out about a 1-second lead over Josh Jones. So they are tearing through this track. Now we got a race between Lobby and Nice.
That we do. Now it looks like Nice is going to have Yarrow on the inside of him there in that 95. Michael continues to charge up through the field in that 95 machine.
The 95 of Michael Yarrow starting back in 17th position, now up 10 spots to the 7th position, and looking to sneak to the inside of Todd Nice, going into 3 and take that position away. Coming out of 4 now, the guys on the throttle, and Yarrow and Nice door to door. Nice is still holding with him though, fellas, on that high side.
He's doing a great job to make that work, but I think Michael's also being patient. From what I've seen from Michael so far, it looks like he's a pretty patient, let the run come to him type of guy. It doesn't seem like he's pushing too hard. That's another reason why I'm kind of questioning the 91 and 92's decision. They've seen what they did, what happened last run, with the longer the stint run went, that how much they struggled there. But Jason Anderson decided this time he's going to push too. So we'll see if Jason Anderson can make the tires stay under it with this pace. But I know Braden had a tough time keeping that pace with the tires last time. So we'll see what plays out this time.
It was about, what, 15 laps in when you started seeing Braden slow down, and right now, after pitting on lap 22, they're on about 7 laps of green flag run, right? Green flag on these tires.
The one difference I do see between the 91 and the 92, he's having just a little bit of a slower entry and a slower middle, so that's as he dives off the turn. But what that really does, that saves a lot of right front tire, being able to slow up the entry and especially the middle. The middle is part of the corner that deteriorates these tires more than anything, especially the right front. So looks like he might be able to get a little bit more life out of the tires than the 91 right now. But I'm sure we're going to see the same thing that we did last run, where the 76, the 81, the 13 start creeping up on these guys here in a little bit.
The 81 of Stipien running in 4th position. Caleb Potter on Facebook joining the broadcast. Hello there, Miss Kayla. That's the girlfriend of the number 81, Steven Stipien. And taught me how to say his name correctly, fellas. I'm forever in her debt, and I owe her a pizza.
It's tough out here sometimes. Let me tell you, I'm good with names, so I never have an issue. Trust me.
The number
it's like
one,
Michael Yarrow. He's up in the top 5. Sorry to interrupt early, but he's actually moved up to the top 5 now too. So 95 looking pretty strong here.
the number 1 of Todd Neese in 7th position. We got some racing here. It's Neese, Lolby, and Loga racing for 6th. As they come out of 4, Loga's going to drop in behind Neese on the low side, Lolby on the top. And right behind them is the 27 of David Neese. So again, Todd and David hook up and move through this field together.
Very possible here. David's looking good there moving in here. He's trying to slide his way up and get a better spot in the top 10.
Yep, Loga slides into 7th. And Lolby back to 8th with David Neese right behind him, along with Brendan Hartwell in the number 5 machine.
5's running some quick times right now, too. He
Anderson
up near the front.
Anderson looking to the inside here, going into 1 for the lead. Caress on the high side, powers out. But Anderson, Brian, is starting to sniff those opportunities, starting to play that cat and mouse game, along with Step here in 4th, playing the same game with Josh Jones.
Yeah, well, Mr. Anderson, he's going to have to start going here in a little bit, because those 3 guys behind him starting to run about a 10th or 2 quicker a lap than the 91 and the 92. So right now he's like, I got to get around the 91 and try to hold these guys off maybe a little bit longer. But I think he may have overheated his tires just a little bit trying to make that move. He may have to settle for 2nd here for a few laps before he can get something going again. As 81 underneath 76, yeah.
Exactly. Stepien battled out of turn 2, now through 3, and coming out of 4 will go into 3rd position. Stepien, our race winner last week, and now in the 3rd. Jones 4th, Yarrow 5th. Neese, Loga, Neese, Hartwell, and Lolby will round out your top 10. It's now the number 95 of Yarrow starting to stick the back end of Josh Jones. Looking to the inside, going into 3. Anderson looking to the inside of Caress into 3 as well. We've got a battle for 1st and for 3rd coming out of 4. Anderson will take the lead. Yarrow will move into 4th position. And Caress tried the crossover down to the inside now of Anderson.
Yeah, 92. Anderson will lead that lap, but I think he might lose the lead here. But the problem is these guys have been racing now for about a lap or so, and 81 has just become a magnet to their bumper.
You know, I alluded to that during the pace laps. There's lap times, man, I'm telling you, the 81 was looking pretty strong on the long run. So these guys, they're going to have a tough time here.
It's 3 wide. 3 wide, drops to the inside, race to the line. Can he take the lead? He would lead that lap, and way up high goes Caress. Caress falls back down into 3rd. Yarrow now going to overtake Caress for 3rd, and it's like right before the last caution when we saw Caress fading back in the pack. New leader Steven Stipien here on lap number, what lap number are we even on? 42.
Yeah, 42, almost halfway here. 81 takes the lead, and currently probably the fastest car on the track. if I'd had to take a wild guess.
Fastest, yep.
95.
Yep, so 30.160, the fastest lap of the race with Steven Stepien. As we look back through the pack, at the number 7th position, of course, my favorite driver, number 22 of Rodrigo Loga. He's got Todd Nice in front of him. Brandon Hartwell is right. Actually, where did Hartwell go? Hartwell is right there. So, yeah, we got Nice on the inside of Loga. Hartwell right behind him in the number 5 machine. That classic Terry Labonte Kellogg's car. Stephen Leffler in 10th in the number 72. Hanging out there in the top 10. Lolby has dropped all the way back to 11th, fellas. And that's something that, he was up there around 6th or so at the restart.
Tough long runner here from him, and it can happen, man. You can have so much pace, and all of a sudden it's just like, where'd it go? It's tough. And it looks like up here, Michael's actually starting to, in the 95, starting to put a little pressure up here on this Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson's holding on pretty good, though. Braden's really struggling, as Brandon Hartwell, even back here in the 5 car, is going to make a pass on him. And you're going to have the 72 of you and a Steven coming in here in that 10th position. So Braden's really struggling.
Jones got loose. He spun it coming out of 4.
Oh, no.
The 76 of Jones got loose coming out of 4 in a battle with Rodrigo Loga, and Todd Nice just went way high, fellas. They didn't get loose. He just drove it into the wall. Could not get the turn to stick and just drove all the way up into the outside wall.
It looks like he may have had a little contact with the one in the middle of the corner, and that's what kind of shot his car up the track just slightly, just enough for him to scrape the wall coming out of the 4 and lost it. Did a good job keeping everybody else out of trouble, though.
Yep, so Jones, and as you said, there was contact there entering 4, and it pushed him up just enough to hit that outside wall. Rodrigo Loga, with excellent reaction, able to dive down and stay out of the way of the spinning number 76 of Josh Jones, as we continue now under caution at Kentucky, lap 46 of 100, and it's a pit party!
Guys that were. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, after that run, I was going to say these guys are screaming for tires.
Yeah, I bet. But there were some guys able to put down some pretty good lap times late in the run there, like the 72 of Stephen Leffler and even James Small. He got involved in that wreck earlier, but the 61 was able to put down some pretty good lap times there in the late run. So if he can get some track position here, he may be, in the fight for a top 5 here later in the race.
As we watch the battle off of pit road, how is that going to shake out? Looks like it's going to be Stepien, 95 of Yarrow, Anderson, Nice, and Perez. And who stayed out? But Dave Bush stayed out, and Jason T. Adams stayed out.
Yes, they did.
Along with it, and no, Leffler pitted. He just had a great pit.
Oh, wow.
Could have maybe done 2 tires, or
I think he missed his box. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's unfortunate. He had some pretty good track position there. That's going to be tough for him to battle back from.
Man, that is heartbreaking. Missed the box.
What was that, 24?
The
24 was taken
out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jason T. Adams going to continue to stay out. So he's like, you know what? Forget the tires. Let's lead some of this. And he is up 11 positions. Been running back behind the top 10 pretty much all day. He might have tires left right now. We only pitted, 15 laps before this, give or take?
Yeah, well, about
22. Lap 22,
yeah.
So...
Yeah, I don't, staying out, it doesn't really matter how, because he wasn't going super, super slow. So there's quite a bit of wear on those tires. So hopefully he,
And
chooses to get out of the
light's
out of
still
the
on
way
the
of these
pace car
fresh
too,
tires.
so
Yeah, he's still got time.
he
But,
still could pit here. We'll
These are
we'll
some
see.
amazing amount of pit laps for a caution at this track.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it feels different. It's just to me. I don't
it's
know.
like
It
they
does
added
feel.
a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, and it might be the same as everywhere else, but I know here in the booth, and I don't know if in the cars it feels the same with these pits. Just the caution seems so much longer.
I think we're just used to dirt cautions, and those don't last long at all.
Dirt races don't last long,
Yeah.
man. I blink and we're done with the broadcast.
You can't. You can tell a whole story during a caution. You can't tell nothing. A dirt one. It's 10 words, and we're going back to green. But yeah, it's sometimes it's good to get these lulls. But we'll see if the pace lights cut out here because he's still not pitting, and pace lights are still on. So there's something going on with this track, yeah. Because
Yeah, there's no reason the pit light shouldn't be off. So there must be a bug or something.
So they pitted, and then they came around, took another lap. That was the second time they came around after coming out of the pits, and the lights are still on. I feel like they should have been off this time.
I don't think he's pitting either.
I don't think he.
I don't think he is either. Yeah, no, he's gonna. He came in that last lap, especially
Right.
unless
yeah.
they know something we don't. I mean, they might know that it's a 5-lap caution after the pits. Who knows?
It's definitely different though, because they should have definitely went off at least a time even before that. I would say so.
But as we watch the pace car come into 3, don't forget about the full immersion experience of iRacing, and it starts off with not only a great system and the game, of course, but the Gamer2 from the ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience, and the ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10-powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like traditional speakers, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response, and it's all perfectly in sync with every game with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20. That's Freaky with 2 E's, FreakyFast20 for 20% off your order of the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Then head on over to abruzziusa.com. That's ABRUZZI, abruzziusa.com. Wear your way from sim gloves and attire to karting and much more. As it says in their logo, wear your way. That's abruzziusa.com as we get set to finally come back to green.
Yeah, interesting thing here. So the 24 decided to pit right then. And it made me think, we're right at halfway right here. I wonder how long they can go on fuel. Did he come in as late as possible to fill up the tank as late as possible? So if we go green, is it going to be close? Can we go 48, 49 laps on fuel and he's going to save a little bit, fill up the tank late? And, if we go green, he may be the only one being able to make it.
And that could be an amazing strategy that I never would have thought of. So I'm glad I got you in the booth here with me today. As we come out of 4, let's crank her up. Brought to you by the ButtKicker and Gamer2. We're going to ride along with the number 95 of Michael Yarrow, right now in the second position. Stippian chooses to start on that high line, fellas. So once again, the leader of the race chooses to start up top. But let's crank her up. Brought to you by the ButtKicker and Gamer2, Michael Yarrow and his number 95. Back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting with Sim Racing Unleashed. Michael Yarrow, our race leader after that restart. Stepien falls all the way back to 4th. Jason Anderson was running 2nd, fell back to 3rd as he was passed by Caress, and now Caress looking to the inside of Yarrow for the lead coming out of 4, Brian.
Yeah, he's
Whoa, he got
a little
loose.
squirrely there. Yeah, he tried to keep it tucked up underneath. Was really pushing the car, trying to get that position. But as you can see, just a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a mistake, loses you a bunch of ground. Now, granted, he is as he touched a little bit of the apron, that's going to shoot him way up the track. But
and that's what happened to Anderson when Caress was able to pass him. He touched that apron.
yeah, that apron seems, some of these tracks you can get away with hitting it a little bit because you want to get as close to that line as possible. Like some of these tracks are getting to. But it seems like if you just barely touch this thing just a little bit, it's going to send you straight. It's pretty harsh.
Top 5, Yarrow, Caress, Anderson, Stepien, and Rodrigo Loga.
Hartwell is knocking on the door, Rodrigo.
I know, I had to hurry up and get the top 5 out. I was worried that Hartwell...
Oh, man.
He bumper tapped him. Logan to the back of Stepien.
Loose.
It's going to give Hartwell the opportunity to drop down to the inside. Todd Neese now to the inside as well. Along with Lolby. Lolby dropped all the way back to 10th off the restart, now up to 7th as Loga is lost the momentum and starting to fall backwards in the field. That's why I had to get the top 5 out of the way. Yarrow continues to lead as Caress and Anderson have kind of settled into a groove now. Stepien and Hartwell will be 4 and 5. We're going to look back at the number 1 machine in 6th position of Todd Neese as Loga's trying to now retake that position. Coming across the start-finish line, nose to tail with Todd Neese.
He's got a Rodrigo there. He's got a little bit of nose damage. Not too bad, though. It's just crinkled up the hood a little bit. And it's really not even that bad, but could be hurting him here on the straights. Maybe lost a couple mile an hour top speed. We'll see how he'll be able to work with it.
Big moment up front, guys. The leader was laughing at Josh Jones there. That was almost wreck.
So yeah, Jones is now getting lapped by the field, so the leader's going to have to contend with the 76 of Jones, who falls into line. So Yarrow, Caress, Anderson, Stepien, and Hartwell remain your top 5. Hartwell now looking to the inside of Jones and going to make that pass.
Some right side damage. Was that from the wreck before that he just didn't get repaired, or?
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't take the fast break. Oh, he's in the wall. So is Hartwell.
Again.
Oh, Hartwell and Jones into the wall. Look,
Side by
kissy
side battle
kiss
for
there.
second. Jason Anderson go by Braden Caress, and look at Steven Stepien. He's coming back to the picture. The long run comes to him. He might be the man to beat here again, but Michael Yarrow, who was pretty strong in the long run, is out front right now too.
Yeah, Yarrow with that lead in there. Anderson going into 3, able to pull away a little bit. So Stepien from Caress as that top 5 continue to battle. Hartwell is on back in 5th position. Neese, Loga, Lolby, David Neese, and Leffler round out your top 10.
Yeah, 81 stimp right now, really, really quick.
Yeah.
I'll be looking to get around this 92. Maybe not this corner, but the next corner, if he can get a good run out of 4, have a good run up on him on the front stretch. Doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen here.
Todd Neese goes in the top 5. Brian started Rodrigo, Nicholas Lolby, and Brandon Hartwell all going at it.
Yeah, I was watching those battles back there with, Logan now door to door with Hartwell. You got Lolby in that group. You got David Neese in that group. Just some tight battles going on. Back here in around the 10th position.
It looks like this is all in all a battle for 7th, I believe, as we're going to be trying to get 3 wide. Not quite.
They were close. Loga, Hartwell, and the 27 of David Neese almost took it 3 wide coming down the front.
Oh, look at oh wow, Hartwell let him by. Yeah.
But he's hurt too, so
yeah, he's got some damage.
good sportsmanship by him saying, "Hey, look, I know my car's slower. I'll go ahead."
Yeah, and even came over the radio. He was like, I've got damage. So the field shakes out here at Kentucky as we run through your top 10 in single file now. Yarrow, Anderson, Stepien, Caress, Todd Neese. Your top 5. Then Lolby, Loga, Leffler, David Neese, and Hartwell, your top 10. Small, Bradford, Regney, Buzz, Bush, Lane, and Palmer round out your field. Coming around 4 are the leaders, fellas, and Yarrow has pulled out a 6/10 of a second lead now over second place Jason Anderson. Anderson, now that's one place that they're going below the yellow line, is right there across the start finish line. Tell us about that, Zach.
Yeah, most of that's just to cut distance there, Lee. You know, it's just a little thing we do as drivers. You're trying to cut the shortest distance you can possible, and it gains you very minute time. But it also can be a little bit of a nuisance for the tires, you know, transitioning onto that flat. You're also picking up some of that dirt down there. So, yeah, you know, you'll see some guys dip down there, but I would tend to want to keep it there above that yellow line. That's just more my style. But, yeah, some guys will definitely get the most out of that.
Looking back now, the battle for 7th, Loga, Leffler, and David Neese. Leffler looking to the inside of Logan, going into 3. And they're all catching up with Lolby now. Ooh, Logan right up to the backside of
Steven there.
Leffler, yeah.
Yeah, Leffler pulled just a slight slide job, just a little bit of a slide job, but that was enough for Loga to have to back out just a little bit.
And that's the interesting thing when you go through this field right now, is the way that it shakes out, and we've got little mini battles going on everywhere. It's like little mini bosses.
Yep.
The number 3 of Aaron Bradford having a decent run, but now having to contend with Josh Jones. Bradford running in 11th position.
That's gonna let James Small Regney get right there to the back of a wall. He's actually to the wall of 3. Oh.
Yeah, he went wide to try to pass Jones and kiss that outside wall. The right door does not look attractive now.
Yeah, I think Josh is suffering no straight lines. He's fast in the corners.
Ooh,
We're
yeah,
getting caution, guys.
Yeah, somebody hit the ball hard.
Ooh, the 6 of Robert, and it looks like the 23, I believe, of Fernando.
This was way behind the field. The 6 of Robert Cheswick running in 21st position.
Tapped the ball a little bit, sent him down into the 23, and then went for a tumble.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like the apron shot him back up. The 23 machine of Fernando Gamboa looked like he might have was going to clear him, but then the number 6 shot right back up the track. Cheswick did when he hit that apron. So unfortunate luck for Cheswick there on lap number 61, back under caution here at Kentucky, fellas.
That was a scary ride right there, guys. That's the one where you're glad to sim.
Oh, absolutely. I've had some of those wrecks. So if you have headphones on, put your right hand on your right one, your left hand on your left one, and pull them away from your ears, because we're about to have a pit party!
It's a dark pit party. The lights
some
are
glow
out.
sticks.
Yeah, we need glow sticks down here, guys, because we can't see nothing.
Get a little rave going on down there on pit road. Wonder if anybody's eating a corn dog down there right now.
Corn dogs would, yeah, that would be a good addition to the
All right,
pit, I think.
Brian, Zach, your number 1 racetrack food. Go.
Oh,
Martinsville
Martinsville hot dogs.
Y'all are quick on that. Robert, number 1 racetrack food, sir. Funnel cake. Yes, me and Robert were talking funnel cakes last night during y'all's
funnel cakes.
broadcast.
Yeah, I watched what I watched. Y'all talking about the Ferris wheel and funnel cakes.
Yeah,
Dude.
some funnel cakes.
I didn't see it till the sun went down. I'm like, there's a daggum Ferris wheel in the infield.
Well, you got all excited when you see the planes land and take off.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. We were
it
racing
actually
last
scared
night.
me.
Yeah, so we were going around the track, and Zach said, thought I just saw a plane crash off the edge of the backstretch.
You're coming out of that turn in 7 there, whenever the plane just disappears behind the wall, and I was like, oh no! But
Yeah, that's what it
it's
looked
funny.
like for me too. I'm like sitting there calling it. And I'm like, oh, there's a Ferris wheel. Where'd the airplane come from?
It flies in there. Trust me, almost every lap it's there. I think there's a lot of planes going through there. Let's just say that.
Everybody hits pit road as Cheswick goes in now, so Yarrow will be in the lead. And let's talk about the race that Michael Yarrow has run here tonight. Started in 17th position, and now on lap 72 of 100, we only got about, 28 laps to go. Has went up 16 positions, now riding in first.
Yeah, I think everybody took 4 tires there. You know, there's no I think a little too early for some 2-tire strategy. I think maybe if we say if we had another caution here in about 10 laps, everybody come down and get 4 tires, and then in another 10 laps, if we had a caution, maybe some 2-tire takers. Of course, that would be very, very treacherous the first couple laps with the tires being cold, or at least, you know, your right side's being cold. It would be very, very difficult to keep it straight. But you know, with about 10 to go, 2 tires may not be a bad option.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will try it for sure later on. But yeah, at the moment, everybody taking 4 tires up front and getting them some former feel goods because you know, it is kind of interesting with the 2-tire decision there, Brian. Like, I don't know if from you, but you know, past iRacing stuff, we used to feel like we got looser, but now every time I've took 2 tires, I feel like I've gotten tighter. So
That's true. I always forget about that, how it's changed.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's very interesting. It's definitely something you need to try before you do it. I'd recommend, because you never know where the balance is going to go. So definitely a tough decision, but I've won many a race taking 2 tires. I can tell you that. So
29 to go here. Yarrow, Anderson, Nice, Stempien, and Leffler. Your top 5. Loga, Nice, Hartwell, Lulby, and Adams will round out your top 10. It's going to be Todd Nice in 3rd, David Nice in 7th for the fans of the Nices. Of the Nices? That sounds awesome. Of the Nices out there.
yeah, they have done a great job tonight. They're putting themselves in position, but tell you what, Michael Yarrow from 17th to 1st, it's pretty good. And he's actually going to take the inside here, I think, which is, I've kind of questioned why guys have been taking the outside line. I mean, I understand what kind of like the idea. I guess maybe Steven and them thought that, you know, they want to save tire and stuff, so why not just take the outside? But you know, we've seen the inside line prevail every time, so I wouldn't doubt it here.
I think the last time we were taking the outside lane was like old Kentucky and the old A car. You know, the high horsepower.
Back. Yeah. It helped them 1 and 2 for sure back then, but now, you know, it's definitely a bottom line, I'd say. In actually that Kentucky too, I'm pretty sure that turn 1 and 2 had progressive banking back then too. So. Oh,
that's true. That was before this last old. I forgot there was another one before that one.
Yeah, tracks go through some changes, that's for sure. It's an ever evolution of a property, I guess you could say. So. And the pace lights will go off this time, as we've had these. I don't know. I'm actually gonna go back later and count these these pace laps to make sure I'm not crazy, because I just feel like we've done like 1 or 2 extra in this track.
Well, I watched the pace car complete a complete pit stop during the last green flag and get 4 new tires and a full tank of Sunoco fuel. So somebody hit the wall.
Yeah, we're getting word on that.
I heard it. I just figured it was some sort of net code or blinking or something.
So the 76 of Josh Jones.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens here. As I'm trying to.
I think it was Jason Anderson. I think because when he blinked, but he didn't hit the wall actually. But I think the net code caused it. There's some weird ghosts going on out here. So.
Maybe that's why it's dark. Yeah, this place is haunted now. We don't have lights in the pit road, and we got sounds coming from the walls.
Isn't there supposed to be a ghost at Kentucky Speedway? Seriously?
I know where the Quaker
I've
State
never heard
goes.
that. The Quaker State goes.
Oh, here we go as we get set. 26 to go when we cross the line. Yarrow going to start on the bottom this time, which seems to be the proper line on these restarts. But Anderson's getting a nice little jump on the top side. Yarrow, Anderson, Nee, Stipien, Leffler, and Loga, your front three rows. And Yarrow sticks to that bottom. Anderson full on the throttle coming out of 2 and going to be right up to the rear quarter panel. Stepien barely in third place in front of Nice. Leffler with some clear room back there. Anderson looking to power on the outside there, Zach. But, I had to slow it up.
They got a wreck behind, too.
Oh, they're wrecking. Yep. Is that the 24? The 24 is involved. Yeah, we got another caution. Let's see what happened there.
24 and 32 looks like where it started.
The 32 of Lane and 24 as they come out of the 24 got tight, started shooting up the track, tried to overcorrect and brought it down into the 32, and then mass homicide.
Yeah, big collision there for a few of those guys. So we need some fast repairs.
So we go back under caution with 25 to go here. And now we start to think about strategy because we're under caution again. When we come back, it's going to be right at about 20 laps, fellas. We've all just pitted already. We've got basically brand new tires. Heck, did they even get a full lap on them?
I don't think so.
Just one. It's just one lap. And it
Yep.
wasn't even a full up the speed lap through 1 and 2, so that definitely doesn't hurt them as bad. So I would definitely not be pitting right now. If I was, in the position these guys are. If you're near the tail end of the lead lap, I would definitely pit. But, if you're in the top 10, you're staying out here.
Aaron Bradford riding in that 10th position, the number 3 car. Got some damage himself from earlier incidents. Lolby right in front of him. Hartwell, and then Nice, and then Loga in the 6th position. So that's 6 through 10. Looking to hang on here for this 20-lap shootout and see if they can climb up a few spots, get a few points. A little bit of bragging rights there, but under one of these abnormally long cautions again, fellas. Crazy conversation ensues. I wish they had a Ferris wheel in the infield of Kentucky. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be pretty cool, that's one of the cool things about Daytona too, is just the fact that they have so much stuff in the infield that you can do, and it's mostly for the 24-hour race because a lot of people go there during the 24-hour race, and they got the Ferris wheel going, all the stuff, the carnival stuff going on in the infield, and you can watch the 24-hour race. So it's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I think Kentucky's they're not too focused on having carnivals.
Well, Kentucky's always, got Kentucky Kingdom. Used to be a member of the Six Flags chain there in Louisville. I really like Kentucky Kingdom. That's a fun little park to go to.
You definitely like the amusement parks. I'm a fan of those too. True, in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, the Derby got canceled this year. Well, not canceled. They were going to bring fans in. And now there's a discussion that they might allow limited fans. I've got a few of the stores that I'm over for the company I work for right there in Louisville, and one of my managers is hardcore Kentucky Derby, and when they announced that they weren't going to have fans there this year, she about cried.
Those horse racing people are pretty committed to that sport. It always amazes me how passionate people are about it, because I've never, it's pretty cool. I like the betting house aspect of it too, but I prefer about 800 horsepower to 15.
Well, considering I'm scared of horses and I can barely drive a car, that's why I did marching band in high school. So
I did as well.
Hey, marching band, that time at band camp's a true story.
It is.
Oh man, 23 to go here at Kentucky with Sim Racing Unleashed, and it's been a crazy race so far. Michael Yarrow has driven a nearly flawless race, bringing himself from 17th position to the lead and has held on to it here for quite some time. Jason Anderson in 2nd position. Steven Stippian in third, Todd Deese fourth, and Steven Leffler in fifth. And we're just going to go into the sixth place shout out to Rodrigo Loga.
Basically, yeah, I think they've added maybe one lap here. Because this is the fourth lap, if I've counted correctly.
This would be starting the fourth lap, I believe. Yeah, so...
I think there's an extra lap going on.
Yeah, the lights are still on.
Yeah, there's definitely been some pace laps that I don't know. I think it's got to be something with this track, maybe. But
I think so. You know, this track might have a couple bugs. You know, all the the props on the side of the track are, you know, it's like they don't have any sort of lighting on them. And then
well, and in the sim racing apps, I use the broadcast function for my cameras and stuff. The map doesn't show up. I don't see where the cars are on the track. All that is not on there as well. So me and Robert were talking before the race, with it being so new, might be some things that just aren't completed yet.
very, very possible.
Yeah, I mean, those are just shadow boxes in the infield. That's not even buildings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Silhouettes.
it's just a shadow almost, seems like. But it's definitely interesting. But I tell you what.
Michael Yarrow continues to lead this race as the lights should go off on the pace car this time. Please.
I would think they are here.
There we go. Light shut off. Next time around, we will go green, and it's basically what I predicted. It will be 20 laps to go. It is a shootout. Yarrow, Anderson, Steppen, Nice, Leffler, Loga, Nice, Hartwell, Lolby, and Bradford, your top 10. As we have 1, 2, 3 Fords in the top 10. The lone Toyota of Dave Bush, right in 14th position. Sorry, Robert. So the 20-lap shootout at the end, fellas, what do y'all look at? Is it really, with brand new tires, you run it on the edge, or do you save something? Especially, Brian, this question is directed at you because you're the comeback kid. You are baby driver. And I've never seen anyone handle the cars the way that you do on the track and the way that you can make those positions up. On this restart, would you save tires or would you go all out?
This is a delicate balance. You don't want to be full save like you were going to be doing a 30, 40 lap run, but you don't want to be full send either like it's a 10 lap run. This is difficult in finding the perfect amount of push and save. This is, if we go green, whoever pulls this off is going to be really talented.
The pace car comes off, and we will be 20 laps to go across the line. Yarrow chooses the inside lane once again. Anderson was strong on the top side this last restart. Let's see how he does on this one. Nice is right behind him, and he's got a great start as Anderson, and Nice is going to push right through it. Yarrow, Anderson, Steppen, and Nice, your top 4. Loga now trying to pull up in there as well. And we got a bunch right there in the front.
Yeah, side by side, guys.
Anderson and Yarrow, door to door, going into 3. Step and Nice door to door. Leffler and Loga.
Brain caress. Oh,
Yarrow and Nice and a caution. Who spun? Oh my goodness.
Brain caress got spun there in 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Caress gets spun.
3 wide, a little bit tight. Ooh, a lot of bit tight.
And we have a caution on the track. Well, let me see. Lap 82, 17 laps of caution. So should be a green, white, checkered. That was a joke, fellas.
Well, I was about to
You're supposed to
say.
laugh.
Okay, I get it. I was like, hold on, what?
It
Your
took me a
math
couple
is
seconds.
wrong.
Yeah.
You need a calculator, Lee.
But I mean, it seems like these pace laps take forever.
Yeah,
So they take 5 ever.
There's Yarrow pit.
Whoa.
Down a pit road. Whoa, what is
I don't
this?
think that's the right call.
I think that was a mistake.
Yarrow pits, Hartwell pits. Hartwell has reason, he's got damage, but Yarrow pits, leaves Anderson for the lead with 18 to go. Fellas, y'all know more than me, but even a novice like me goes, that don't look right.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one. The tires weren't that old, and the way the cautions have been coming out here late in the race, I think track position is more important than tires at this point.
I completely agree with you, Brian. I don't think he's going to have enough time or tire to even get back to the lead. And if this thing starts getting some cautions, you're not going to have any green flag laps possibly, even to get positions. It's tough to pit in these situations when you're in the lead. You are in the worst position when the caution comes out at this point, sitting in that lead position, because anything you do, these other guys can see, and you're pretty much sitting duck. It's pretty much what I'm saying. And I don't know I think he should have just stuck to staying out, because a few guys would have stayed out, even if the second, third, fourth guys come in. A few guys would have stayed out because there just wasn't many green flag laps on these tires. So, interesting call. We'll see where he files out. And
looks like they're going to put him in 14th, sir.
Yeah, I don't see that possible. I mean, unless he gets the best restart of his life and gets 5-6 positions easy, real quick, and is on the back of these guys and in their draft. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. I mean, I just don't think these guys wore enough of the tire off to have a huge effect yet, because really only went green there for 3 or 4 green flag laps at all.
Yeah, that's a max, if that much. So it makes our top 10 now from Anderson, Neese, Stepien, Leffler, Loga, David Neese, Lolby, Bradford, Jones now climbs back into the number 9th position, and Paul Regney in 10th. And that's someone we haven't talked about a lot, is the number 9 of Paul Regney. Up 4 positions, started in 14th, up to 10. He would love to come away with a top 10 finish here.
Definitely would. He's in a good position there to do it too, but got plenty of laps left for something to go wrong or something to gain, So just got to keep your head down at these moments in the race and stay focused, because you can be very lucky at the end of these races sometimes, or you can be very unlucky, as the lady says. So, putting yourself in those right positions and making the right call here in these last 20 laps of a race are huge, and that's what decides everything. So we don't get paid at 20 to go; we get paid at 0 to go. So
as we watch the field come back across one more time, and I'm going to try to keep eyes on not only the front of the field, but I want to see what Michael Yarrow does back in 14th position, if he starts to gain, and how quickly he does, because lights are still on, so we at least got one more pace lap. After this, we are down to 16 to go now, so we're looking at about a 14-lap shootout with basically fresh tires. I think I said basically 18 times in that statement.
You basically did.
A very basic statement.
Yeah.
Put some.
Would you call me basic?
All right, guys, calm down.
So, I'll get you some Starbucks for the next broadcast.
Yeah, I would love that, but I don't do coffee, man. I literally, the only thing I drink is Mountain Dew, and I know that's probably, if we have any healthcare professionals out there, they go, "You don't drink water?" No, I do not. Mountain Dew, all day long, every day.
I don't think Robert drinks water, right?
Yeah, water's gross, man. Unless it's red Kool-Aid, I ain't doing no water.
I'm a pretty big fan. I like water. It's pretty good.
I like it. Water's good. Yeah.
Especially if it's cold. I like it cold.
Hydrated.
If it's room temperature, though, I'm not the biggest fan, but if it's
all right,
cold.
well, you guys are younger than me. Let's see if y'all did this back in the day when you were kids. Did y'all drink out of the hose pipe or the water hose?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
I didn't know if that was still a thing or not.
Oh, I didn't know
had
I was looking.
our,
I probably wouldn't do it now, though.
We're on well water, and our pump
Yeah,
got
same.
broken one time, so we had to run a hose from our neighbor's to ours, and we drink sweet tea like water too. So water, sweet tea. So we would make sweet tea out of the water hose.
Water hose sweet tea.
Yeah,
It always
That's
has
the
a
best
it always has a hint of swimming pool liner in the taste.
kind. Yeah, it's the best part.
Don't ask me how I know. I mean, when you smell swimming pool liner, you can kind of imagine what it tastes like. Like if someone says, if you close your eyes and clear your thoughts, what is the flavor of the color blue? You could say what blue tastes like. I think the hosepipe water tastes like swimming pool liner. Just from the smell of swimming pool liner.
I don't even know to say
Oh, no,
like
I
that,
think-
Lee.
Blue tastes like raspberry, I think.
Yeah, me
'cause
too.
you get
Blueberries.
those,
Hit that blueberries.
Those ice pops in those little plastic pouches things.
Oh.
Blue ones
Oh,
are
those
raspberry.
Those were good.
Blueberry
But
or
see,
whatever.
red's always been my thing, man. Even though I don't eat like cherries, like the fruit, hate them. I don't eat fruit. But I love cherry flavored Kool-Aid. I like cherry flavored, suckers. But I won't eat a daggum cherry. As the pace car comes off, we get set to go. It'll be 14 to go across the line. Anderson will start on the bottom side. Man, this pit road speed of 55 seems like they are creeping with this big track. Here we go. Green flag goes onto the throttle. Anderson, Nice, Stepien, Loga, and Leffler. Nice run for Rodrigo.
Jason Anderson, he was a little bit late to the green flag, but that actually helped him because everybody checked up behind him. 81 was really on top of him, but he had to check up with 92, and that's what cost him a bit of time here.
We come into 3. Anderson will be the leader. Neeson, Stepien. Oh, and Rodrigo had to check up a little bit there. Stepien led off. And we're going 3 wide down the front stretch. Let's just do it, fellas.
Look who's back into the picture. Josh Jones. Up to 5th.
Josh Jones up to 5th. Yarrow still sitting back in 14th. We'll keep our eyes on them. So we go back to the front with Anderson, Nice, Stepien, Leffler, and Jones now in 5th position. Can Josh Jones overcome from that accident earlier to get the victory here at Kentucky? We come out of 4. We're going to look at it 3 wide again, and just getting loose in the center was Leffler.
Yeah, pushing really, really hard right now. Gotta wait though just a little bit longer for those
4
tires to
wide.
heat up.
Back behind him, there was 4 wide. Getting crazy. Up front, Anderson and Nice are starting to pull away a little bit, and Jones has now slid into the 3rd position. Lane is up to 4th in the 32 machine. Stepien back into 5th. Through 4. The front 3 are pulling away and creating some gap. Lane will be in 4th. Stepien and Leffler racing for 5th. Into 1.
Meanwhile, Michael Yarrow, he decided to pit only up to 12th right now, so
Yeah.
not
Great Perez.
on big tire advantage.
He's moved up to 8th, though. You see how fast he is on the short run. He pitted, so see what he can do here.
As we come around 4, as you said, Caress is hard charging along with Jones as well. Yeah, there's Hartwell right in the front. Right behind, Caress. Caress now looking to overtake Stepien. Yeah, what has happened to the 81 of Steven Stepien?
I think he's just better on the long run. He's his way he's driving the car is just more suited for the long run, I think. And it's unfortunately sometimes that's how it is for you. Sometimes and you get these short runs and it doesn't play out the way you want. But he was definitely a threat on them longer runs.
9 to go now across the line. The front 3 have pretty much settled into a rhythm and playing the waiting game. The battle now is going to be 5th, Lobe and Leffler. With Stepien trapped right behind him.
81 trying to shoot the gap. Not quite. He's going to be put in the middle.
Caress on the high side, Hartwell on the bottom. And they just swarm Stepien. And he's going to fall back now to 10th position. 8 to go.
Michael Yar's starting to make some positions now, up to 9th. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get back in the top 5.
We also got Lane who pitted on this not the latest caution, but the caution before that, so he doesn't have about a lap fresher. These guys ahead of him. So,
Yarrow dives down to the inside up to 8th position, looking to overtake Perez, and Lolby has the line on them.
What?
Perez.
Oh no! I knew that was gonna
Perez
happen.
takes Lolby into the wall. No yellow. We stay under green.
oh,
And
full
then
contact.
gets put back into the wall. They're coming out of 2 is Caress.
Oh
Big
man.
set
And now we've got a caution as it's a mess back here. Oh,
Oh, and piling up even more.
let's see if we can see what happened there. It started coming out of 1 as Caress. He might have cut a right front, but he turned hard up into the wall and hit Leffler. And then the number 3 machine of Aaron Bradford hits the 91 as he comes off the wall again, and then takes out the 9 and the 51 of Buzz. So just a massive accident there. 6 to go as of now. Fellas, I might be psychic. I might be able to tell the future. Green, white, checkered. I'm telling you.
Well, and the other thing right now, if you were to pit, I think if everybody comes down pit road, we're going to see some 2-tire strategy.
You
But
know,
they may elect to stay out.
if I'm third on back, I'm pitting. I'm doing it just to try to make more people pit. A lot of people are going to stay out. Look, I would if everybody goes, then
Ooh,
and a lot of people
tough luck
fake
for
it.
Jones there.
Oh yeah, Jones, man, he was charging, and it looked like Nice might have faked him out there.
Well,
Yeah,
Yarrow,
Back. I think if I was third on back, I think I'm pitting.
that's what I would have done. So
Yeah, Yarrow now in 4th position is what I am showing. Yeah, Yarrow in 4th. So Anderson, yep, yeah, exactly. Anderson, Nice, Lane, Yarrow, and Hartwell, your top 5. Loga, Bradford, Aaron Bradford. Aaron Bradford's in 7th. Nice job, sir, in this number 3 machine. Nicholas Lolby, David Nice, and Stepien. Man, Stepien has dropped all the way back to 10th position.
yeah, he had
Yeah.
a tough time there on that latest restart.
So Kayla's a nurse on Facebook and says that I need to drink more water. So Kayla, I appreciate your concern for my health, my good lady, but no. I truly believe in my philosophy of I'm preserving myself from the inside out with the food I eat. My diet consists of only meat and potatoes. I do not eat vegetables. I do not eat fruits. I do not drink water.
So you'll eat preservatives? Like you eat stuff with a lot of preservatives is what I'm assuming.
I mean, man. Well,
That's a good philosophy, I guess. You could like, you know.
It's
you could
good
say,
theory.
but
I don't know how
I
well
don't know
that
how.
does in
Yeah,
practice.
I don't know how
though.
factual and yeah.
interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it right there.
Oh, me. 4 to go. So, yes, definitely be green, white, checkered when we come to our green flag. We come back across the line, but we still got yellow lights blinking for another 47 laps.
They said they wanted to keep the lights on because it's a little dark, so they just do another pace lap to make sure it's safe out here.
It looks like a
But,
bad graphics render in the infield.
Yeah, something's going on there. They're going to have to work on that. That's definitely something iRacing's got going on. So
There
it's
is
a newer
a
track, so
yeah. There's a scheduled hot fix here
Yeah.
or a patch on Tuesday, so maybe they'll address some of that, which they probably will. This kind of stuff they tend to get fixed.
So at Kentucky Speedway with Sim Racing Unleashed, Jason Anderson, your race leader. Under this final caution, it will be green, white, checkered. Michael Yarrow has climbed all the way up to 4th position. Josh Jones, after going into the pits that on this caution, comes out in 13th. And fellas, you talked about third back. If you were third back, you would pit, but is 3 laps enough for someone, even with the driving ability of Jones, to climb 13 positions in 3 laps here at Kentucky?
Oh, there's no way. I don't think even if you were
Yeah.
Keegan Leahy or Ray Alfala, I don't think you'd be
Yeah,
able
I
to
don't
pick up
think
13 positions in 3 laps.
they're
But
pretty much in their in the bed they made. So
yeah,
yeah,
but
you know, you try to make people come down. It's really the biggest thing. Is like you know, if one person's, it's like like people follow the group. I guess you could say. If you see one person go, you say, well, maybe I should go down. But it can also go both ways. You say you see that person go down, I'm gonna act like I'm going down, and then I'm not gonna go down. So
So here's something we haven't discussed, fellas. Anderson and Nice pitted on lap 70. Lane pitted on 76. Michael Yarrow in 4th and Brandon Hartwell in 5th, both pitted on lap 82. So 12 lap newer tires. Now, most of that has been under caution, but we did have some green flag runs there, and Yarrow has shot through the field. This should be a very entertaining 3-lap shootout.
I think he's sitting pretty right now. I think he's the best. He's got a really good shot at the win. You know, I thought it was a mistake for him to pit when he did, but just the way, just getting a few positions here and there, and the way the cautions have fallen, and the amount of people that pitted just then, it's worked out well for him.
It absolutely has. Up 13 positions from his start, and he's up right at 10 positions from where he came out from that pit stop.
yeah, I think Hartwell's got a good shot at this too because he's gonna be starting on the bottom. So, it's going to be key for Michael Yarrow to be able to get down low. He can't get held up too long on this outside groove. And we'll see. We'll see, though, how it play out. These guys got some fresher tires. Jason Anderson's been on it. Todd Nice has been on it. You got Lane with a little bit fresher than those two. And then you got the fresh ones there, those two, in the 95 and the 5. So, and then you got Rodrigo
Loga!
Even Aaron Bradford, look at that. He's up to 7th. So,
yeah,
good stuff for these guys.
David Neese sitting in 9th now, but up 11 positions. Got to be happy with his evening so far.
Oh, and interesting thing here, guys. We only have one shot at a green-white checkered here. So this will be the end of the race.
Good to know. So any incidents in these 3 laps, and that's where the race will end. So we get set to go into 3 and get ready for green flag racing. It'll be 3 laps to the finish. Green, white checker. Anderson, Todd Nice, Lane, Yarrow, and Hartwell, your top 5. Anderson chooses that bottom lane, which it seems like after the first 2 chose the top, nobody's went up there again.
Yes.
Pace car comes off. 55 miles an hour down the front stretch. Approaching the starting box. Here we go. Green flag, and Anderson is on it. 3-lap shootout with Sim Racing Unleashed.
Oh,
And we got a spin. Hartwell spins.
Oh, and there's more.
That's going to do it.
Unfortunate.
Who's going to get third there? Is it going to be the 32 or the 95?
I think the 32.
The number 3 machine of Aaron Bradford came way low on that restart, dropped below Hartwell. He actually spun Hartwell. That's what caused him to go into the infield, and then came up into the 27 of David Neese, and calamity ensued. And it looks like the 3 that should shake out would be Anderson, Todd Neese, and Lane, and put Yarrow into 4th. That was a crazy start there. And poor number 27 of Nice, David Neese, upside down, sliding on his roof. Just gets spun, all kinds of stuff there. Man, unfortunate series of events there on the restart, fellas.
Yeah, that's sometimes how it plays out too. But Jason Anderson, he's completely cool with it. I'm sure he wanted to finish on the green. As a driver, you always want to finish it out like that, but you'll take them as you get them. So good run here tonight, taking home the win here for Jason Anderson. But Todd Nice getting all the way up to 2nd, great run. Even Lane 10th up to 3rd. Michael Yarrow, man, he was so close. Like, he did such an exceptional job to get to where he was. So congrats to Jason Anderson, but the rest of the guys out there also put on a heck of a show tonight here in Kentucky.
Yes, sir. And as you said, Anderson will come away with the victory as we hear the fireworks going off. Todd Neese second. Lane will be in third. Michael Yarrow fourth. And Rodrigo Loga with a top 5 finish. And we're going to send it back to Robert for a quick break as we get ready for some driver interviews with Jason Anderson, Todd Neese, and the number 32 machine of Lane. Coming up next here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting here with Sim Racing Unleashed. And back here with Sim Racing Unleashed on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell, Brian Johnson, Zach Hall, and Robert Moya joining you here in the booth as we get ready to speak to our top 3 finishers. And I tell you what, Brian, Zach, you guys much better at these questions than I am. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys as we bring up the number 32 of Lane, finishing in 3rd position.
Hey, Lane, it's Brian in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
I got a copy.
Hey, man, well, congrats on your 3rd place finish. Started 10th here tonight. We've seen a crazy race, a little bit of green flag, a little bit of caution, up and down night for a lot of guys. But how did that car feel for you for this race?
It sucked for the first 80 laps, and I'm going to repeat the thing I said for the past 10 laps. How the hell did I get into the top 5? Where'd that come from? I was the slowest car on track for half the race. I don't know how I ended up in 3rd. It was a blur.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it works, but with the track changes and the different tire strategies, pit strategies that people that take, sometimes you can get the good end of that deal, which sounds like you did here tonight. We've seen some guys have some really good short run speed and really good long run speed. Did you feel like, even though you think you felt like you were slower, was there a part of the run where you felt like things were starting to kind of feel you were getting a good feel for it?
My car never really felt fast to start off. The first 50 laps I kept falling off. Got into lap 70 and I could keep up with some people. And here on the last lap, I don't know why I could just make moves that I couldn't make early on in the race. I could hang in turn 4 with the top 5, which I couldn't do the entire race. I don't know where the speed came from, but I'm thankful for it because it got me a top 3, which is going to be good for points going last race into the chase next week.
Absolutely, yeah. That's those points are definitely going to be huge for you after tonight's race. And one more question before we get to the shoutouts. This is the newly configured Kentucky here for iRacing, and for you, what is the biggest difference between the old one and this new one?
I can't be other than turn 3 and 4, which are dramatically different. I can't tell much of a difference. What isn't helping with that is that we're using the old Kentucky setup at the new track, and last time I raced here in Kentucky, the Ford Mustangs had issues which made them faster than every single car on track. So I was hoping maybe we could repeat the fact that I got a win here last time I raced in Kentucky, but almost got it.
Yeah, came pretty close. You know, podium is if you can't get the win, podium's just next best thing. So before we let you go here, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
All of my family who are currently watching, they keep me going in this, and I gotta be thankful for that. The guys here at Sim Racing Unleashed, they run everything smoothly, don't really have many issues. Other than that, I don't have many else to thank. Thank you all for broadcasting, I will say that.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate it. We have fun doing it, but we'll let you go and celebrate your third place finish here, and we will see you here next week.
All right, thank you. See you next week.
And that was the number 32 of Lane, who finished in third position. As Zach, we're going to bring up the second place finisher, Mr. Todd Neese.
Hey, Todd, you got a copy of Zach for the Booth, man?
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, well, heck of a run for you tonight, Todd. You were up there around the top 10, top 5 all night, battling in there with a lot of these guys. But, man, there at the end, you were able to position yourself and put yourself into a top 2 finish. How'd you do that?
I tried to be patient. First, I want to thank Public Supermarkets for giving me a fast Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, and Sim Racing Unleashed for giving us an awesome place to race. But yeah, it was basically just patience, kind of biding my time and waiting. I tried to stay out of people's way for the most part.
10-4, Todd. Yeah, definitely did a great job of doing that tonight, man. Keeping it clean up there and bringing home that second place finish. I don't know how much experience you have on the older surface of Kentucky, but Brian asked a good question on this, and I actually wanted to hear what you had to say about this too. What do you think the biggest differences are from the older surface to this new one, and which one do you prefer actually?
I don't know. Just from what I've seen in practice, I'd say it's about the same speed-wise. It's just got some subtle differences. It's loose early in the run and tight later.
Definitely. It definitely looked a little bit different out there tonight. Not too much different though. Like you said, very similar speed-wise, and still same old Kentucky pretty much with the configuration. But great run here tonight, Todd, to bring it home in second, man. But before we let you go, anybody you want to send a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to send a shout out to my dad and number 27, David Neese. He helped me out with my line this week because I was really struggling here during practice all week. And with his help, I got a much better finish than I anticipated.
Awesome, Todd. Well, it always helps to practice, man, and it always helps when you got someone there to help you. So shout out to your dad too there. But thanks for joining us tonight, man, and finishing second. So congrats, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I hope so. And thank you for broadcasting.
Oh, of course, man. You have a great night, Todd.
And that was your second place finisher, the number 1 of Todd Neese. And now we're going to bring our race winner up, Mr. Jason Anderson.
Hey, Jason, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do. How's it going, guys?
Going good, man. Going good. Well, you were able to be up there in the top 3 pretty much all night, man. Battling right there in the mix of things. We got to see a few good there long runs, and you looked pretty strong in those. But you had to battle there at the end with a few of those guys. How'd you end up coming home with the win tonight?
The whole race, I was struggling trying to make passes and completing passes, and then I was sent second. The 95 pit, it kind of put it in my lap, and I wasn't going to pit at that time, so I was, I was going to stay out anyway. So when he pitted, put me out front, helped me out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. There when Michael pit, we were definitely questioning that, and he actually got up before, so he did a great job to get back there on them new tires. Just unfortunately ran out of time, but you were able to hold it off here tonight, Jason. I also asked these other guys this question. We've just changed to this new rescan Kentucky. What are your biggest differences, and actually, which one do you prefer from the old one to the new one?
I like the old one, but this one, that was the first time I put laps on it, and I wasn't consistent on entry, either 3 or 4 or 3 or 1, and I got it a couple times, just not the whole race.
Yeah, definitely looks pretty similar out there, but definitely a little bit of a reconfiguration here tonight at Kentucky. But tell you what, you did a great job all night, Jason. Brian, you got any questions here for Jason? You got anything formulated?
Not really, other than what you asked. You kind of took all my questions.
Well, do we actually know where we go next week, Robert or Lee? Because I would like to ask Jason what he thinks about next week. Or Jason, do you know where y'all go? Sorry about that. I am uninformed on that.
Is it
Not
Talladega?
offhand.
I'm not sure.
Yes, we go to Talladega.
Talladega. Okay, so how do you feel about Talladega next week, Jason? Actually.
I don't. It's luck, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's just more or less luck. And if we get a good setup where it creates good racing, that'll be fun.
Awesome, Jason. Well, hopefully you have good luck next week at Talladega. But before we let you go, of course, as always, anybody wants to shout to you, man?
Just my family, my kids, and everyone that, all my friends and family. So.
Awesome, Jason. Well, congrats again on the win tonight, man. You did a heck of a job to get her home in first place. And we'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
And that was Mr. Jason Anderson, our race winner tonight here at Kentucky Speedway with Sim Racing Unleashed. And we are ready to go through that finishing order from tonight. As I am waiting on my stuff to reboot. Do you have that? There it is. Winning our race tonight, number 92, Mr. Jason Anderson. In second place, Todd Neese. In third will be Lane. In fourth, Michael Yarrow. Strong finish for him after that pit stop. In fifth, Rodrigo Loga. In sixth place will be Nicholas Lobey. In seventh, Aaron Bradford. In eighth, Brandon Hartwell. Ninth will be James Small. To rounding out your top 10, David Neese. 11th, James T. Adams. 12th, Stephen Leffler. 13th, Fernando Gamboa. 14th, Josh Jones. 15th, Stephen Stepien. There we go. 16th, Braden Caress. 17th, Dave Bush. And in 18th, Buzz. And Bush and Buzz finishing one lap down. In 19th, Paul Regney. 20th, Robert Cheswick. 21st, Michael Palmer. And in 22nd will be Gomez. So that is your finishing order here tonight for Sim Racing Unleashed at Kentucky. Fellas, it was a fun night.
Yeah, it was a good race. It had some really good side-by-side action. Had like I said earlier, comers and goers. A lot of comers and goers, and guys able to make their way through the field. That's one thing I love about mile and a halves is that it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. A little bit of short track, a little bit of super speedway. It gives you everything you want out of a race.
Awesome. Now, Zach, I know that the next time I will be in the booth with you guys will be Wednesday for Dirt Renegades, and looking forward to that. Robert, Tuesday, where are you at, sir?
Either Daytona or Talladega.
Gotcha. And then we're off on Monday this week for TI Racing, and we'll begin a new season a week from this Monday. So that's going to do it for us here. Don't forget, if you enjoy racing here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, that you help us out by visiting our sponsors. And Freaky Fast proudly brought to you by the ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience, and the ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail. By moving to physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful base response in sync with every video game with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20, that's Freaky with 2 E, FreakyFast20 for 20% off the Gamer2 at buttkicker.com. Brought to you by Abruzzi USA, that's ABRUZZI, USA.com. Your wear your way, from sim and kart racing gloves and shoes to all kinds of stuff. Zach, Brian, I love going to Abruzzi USA. My wife does not, because I tend to want to buy way too much stuff there on their website.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome stuff you can get. Man, I'm actually building my own gloves right now. Just planning out how I'm gonna build my gloves. So if you're looking to get customized simwear gloves, definitely. It's just mind blowing what you can do. It really is. You gotta check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
That's Abruzzi USA, ABRUZZI, AbruzziUSA.com. And brought to you by iPitting. iPitting Boards is a web tool designed for iRacing teams. It helps provide teammates a clear vision of every data point from schedules, results, championship points, and more. And it also helps your community managers share on social network team achievements and league information. That is iPitting at iPitting.com. Fellas, great night here in Kentucky. Robert, you got anything for everyone, sir?
Nope. Great broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, watching these guys call great action here with Sim Racing Unleashed. And we will catch you in the next one. Will be Tuesday night for some Super Speedway racing. But on your Facebook side, don't forget to hit that like and follow button. And if you're on the YouTube side, don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe button. But until then, we like to say up here, Freaky Fast again, thank you, everybody. But God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Thanks, fellas.
Bye, everybody.
Woo.